Alright, so a little bit of a different review today. Since I'm always short on time, I figured I'd just take the camera with me and get a lunch break on the side of the road and we'd do a review. Today we're taking a look at the Gear RTA by OFRF. Nice small single coil device. Let's dive down and take a look at it up close first. Alright, so today we're taking a look at the Gear RTA by OFRF. This is the metal version, the gunmetal version. We'll move that aside and take a look at it here. So this is the gunmetal. Take a look at that. You got this really interesting drip tip, which obviously doesn't sit like a normal drip tip would. Basically, you can see the gear design under there, and the drip tip actually is sloped outward before it goes up, so you have that space under there. Looks a little strange, but it's a cool look. Right? It is a double O-ring drip tip. You do get this frosted one and a black one with this one. Right? Putting it on is a little stiff to get it in there. Right? You can see, really got to give it a good shove to get it in there, but that just means it's not going to come out. This is a really small RTA. You got your 510 pin. It does say Gear OFRF on the bottom with their backwards, upside down, twisted letter logo there. Let's go ahead and unscrew the top. Top fill. Plenty of room to fill in there. No problem with that. A lot of room in there. Threading. Well, I'm about to say threading was really nice, but I put it on wrong. It's just my fault. This is a new one. All right. Threading is nice on there. Go ahead and open the bottom. All right. Very small juice capacity, as you can see. Now, as for the deck, and let's zoom in a little bit more here. Right. The deck is going back to the old style screws, basically. You're going to have to unscrew that and put your leads in there. So it is a little take on the old style. All right, let's put this back together real quick. So, like I said, you will get the second drip tip. You will get a bubble glass, which we'll throw that on and show you what that looks like. You will get a screwdriver. You will get some cotton, shoelace cotton. You will get a couple of coils, and these are 0.33 N80 coils. All right, 3 millimeters. You will get a whole bag of goodies, plenty of O-rings there to keep you covered. And you will get your manual, which is not a book, but one big large sheet, which you can pause and zoom in that if you want to. Let's open up some of these coils, look at them up close, and then we're going to coil it up. Go ahead and take out their screwdriver. It is nice when you get a decent screwdriver. You got some shoelaces, which I'm sure will fit perfectly for this, so we will use that when we wick it. And we don't need our O-rings. Let's go ahead and throw this on a device. Alright, so now that we have them open, I opened them all, but you don't need to do that, obviously. If this is your positive post side, this is your negative side. This is to accommodate either coils that are counterclockwise or clockwise wrapped. Whichever way they are, they will fit fine. So their screwdriver is a little thinner than than the coils that come with it. So I'm going to use a little bit thicker one. You can use a coiling rod or whatever you have. I'm just using the screwdriver because it fits perfectly. And I'm going to wrap my coil so that the leads are coming out both sides, and then I'm going to stretch it apart so that I have a spaced coil. All right. Get that a little stretched. Push it back, and now you have a nice spaced coil there. All right. Keep your leads the same. And then again, positive to negative. Coil placed in there, hold it up against the screw, tighten her down. Do the same on the other side. Make sure you give it a good crank and get it down in there. All right. Now, obviously, I don't need the others open, so we're going to tighten them down. I'm going to go ahead and cut these leads off. And we get a reading, and we got 0.37 before they're dry burned. I'm going to lower that down to dry burn them. dry burn it, 1 coil. All right, that's heating up perfectly. Still 0.37, but sometimes this mod takes a while before it reads things right. I just like it because it's a square mod, you know, very easy to work on. All right, ramping up good. And once I do that, I usually like to make sure the coil leads, screws are down tight again. Give that a moment to cool off. All right, let's go ahead and throw our cotton in. Now, because I spaced this out, you know, the coils are not perfectly smooth, so you be careful when you're putting that in there. You don't want to damage your coils. Now, I find whenever they do this, they really put on too much cotton on these things. This is too much cotton to go through this coil without deforming the shape. So I'm going to pull a little bit of it off. Just work that through and be patient so you don't damage your coil. Now I can feel that's perfect. Cut off your shoelace tip. Comb out your cotton. Let's take a look at this with the bubble glass on it now. All right, there's your straight glass. Because it is a smaller juice capacity, I'm going to use the bubble glass. Let's go ahead and tuck the cotton in. Very easy to wick. Very easy to fill your cotton holes. Just get it in there pretty good. Really nice and simple. Very simple to build and wick. This RTA, this single coil RTA. All right. Take a look at it with the bubble glass real quick so you can see the difference. And don't fire the mod if you're doing it on a mod like I am, because you'll just burn your cotton. All right. So there's the look. And you got that extra capacity. Let's go ahead and open it up. Haven't vaped this in a while, so I'm going to throw some Jam Monster Blackberry on there. Hopefully there's enough in this bottle. Close that up. Close off your airflow. Open the top. Fill her up. And there you go. Let's get you all the specs on this thing. All right, so you can see when I showed you this before, I changed the drip tip on here. I just like that one because it looks a lot better on this AUG Vape Foxy Druga, which is kind of a black and white device. You can see it's really nice on there. So this is a really small, really nice RTA. It is a single coil that, if you didn't know from the size or someone didn't tell me, I would think this thing was a dual coil. The flavor on here is incredible. It is really nice. I'm using the coils that came with it. The wicking you saw in the up close in the video is how I've re-wicked it a few times since then, as I've changed the cotton, and I've been extremely happy with it. No dry hits whatsoever, not even a feeling of it. Absolutely no leaking. I've been filling this through the top without even closing off the airflow, and I've had no leaking on it, which is wonderful. Sorry, a car went by and I thought it was a person about to knock on my window. Hey, I'm not Timmers. I'm not used to these car reviews, okay? Got to get used to them. So anyway, I've been extremely happy with this. The vapor that it puts out, the flavor that it puts out is just wonderful, and I'm going to take a vape. Tons of vapor off of this thing. Beautiful flavor. It's small, so it really does look good on a smaller mod, something nice and small. The drip tip works fine. When you put those drip tips that come with it, those weird, almost diamondy shaped drip tips in there, they work fine. They don't feel unusual, you know, in your mouth when you're vaping on them. I just did it for the looks. I just think that looks better on there. But the two drip tips, and it's nice that you do get two, so that you can match them with whatever your device is that you're vaping on. The two of them do work fine, no problems whatsoever. I'm happy with those coils. What's it coming out to now? Really hard to see in the car. 0.36 ohms, and I think they're rated at I think it says best between 50 and 55 watts. I'm finding 60 watts is the sweet point for this. 65 is getting a little warm and I'm losing some flavor. 60 with the juices I've been trying in here, and right now I got some Jam Monster raspberry in here. 60 watts is what it's working best for me at a 0.36 ohm. I think they rate them at like, I thought it was less. I think it was like 0.33, but mine's been coming out 0.36 every time, you know, so anyway, working fine. I have the airflow fully open. It's also good if you close it down a little bit for a tighter draw. I've had no heat problems, no leaking problems, no problems whatsoever. If there was any downside to it, I'd say the small juice capacity. You will find yourself refilling this more often, even with the bubble tank on here. I am filling this quite a bit. I can fill this up every half hour if I'm vaping on it steady. So, yeah, there's no downsides to this thing as long as it's within the size you want and the juice capacity. If you're someone that normally only vapes dual coils like I do, don't even worry about that. The single coil on here is just doing an absolutely beautiful job. Absolutely beautiful. I love it. This is one of my new favorite RTAs, and I'm certainly going to be using this one for quite a while to come. Maybe not what I would take in the car if I'm going for a long drive because of the juice capacity, but if I'm sitting around the house, at office, especially spring, summertime coming up, sitting in the yard, and I don't mind having to refill it, the flavor on here and getting 60 watts, of course, on a dual battery mod will give you a lot. Even on a single battery mod, anything you use it on is going to give you a lot more time than if you're vaping a dual coil, you know, 0.15 at 90 watts. That, you know, 30 watts less does really extend your battery quite a bit. So I'm going to take one more vape. Totally happy with it. So that's the Gear RTA by OFRF. Definitely can recommend it. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time.